Hello! Welcome to the ninth day of the Confounding calendar. It's December 15th. I am a little bit behind because my game came out, much to my surprise. I was alerted the day before, and it turns out it has a glaring mathematical error that makes it totally broken. So, I tried to fix it like the day it came out, day after it came out, and I was just, I don't know. My code was kind of spaghetti code, and I was tired, and I don't know. I tried, I couldn't do it. I think I finally got it now. So, um, for today's video, I'm going to be testing out my own game using the updated version, which should hopefully be out. If you go to the link in the description, you can play the game. Hopefully it'll be the updated version. If not, that means the update wasn't working. um, yeah, anyhow, I think it's a fun game either way, but there's a little bit of trivia in the game that's not actually accurate until this update goes through, because this is not mathematically identical to the thing that it's based on. So anyhow, once again, give it a go, link in the description if you like. And this will be a very spoilery playthrough because I'm the one who made this game. So, what I changed about this game is the algorithm to determine uniqueness. Because these trees, they have to be unique. They cannot be the same. That's the basic mechanic here. And they cannot even contain the same tree, even if they contain some other branches as well. So, um, yeah, so I changed the uniqueness algorithm to be a little bit more strict, making the game harder than it was before. So I'm going to see if I can beat this game using the new algorithm. I'm not actually quite sure how to do it. So I like to do nice symmetrical things when I can, like for number 6 here. Symmetry is actually a pretty good strategy for this game. Because if you make something asymmetrical, and then you make sort of the opposite thing, right? 2 on the left, 3 on the right, versus 3 on the left, 2 on the right. That counts as a duplicate. So there's not much benefit to doing 2 and 3 compared to just doing 3 and 3. Like I'd rather be doing 3 and 3. So maybe I'm actually gonna make this one be 3 and 3 like that. This one's 3 and 3 stacked like that. Got a weird shape here. This should be fairly easy, I think. Okay, so we've copied 4 there. Basically, 4 is telling us we can't have branching high up on the tree, right? We can have pretty tall trees, but they can't branch even at this point here. They have to branch down here, but not like that. I think maybe, ooh, how do I want to do this? Um, how did I have this one before? What if I do that? Oh, of course, that's a duplicate. Okay. Um, okay, let's try that. All right, what's a nice symmetrical thing I can do for 10? I think I can just do 5 and 5. There we go. 2 big horns. And then, I haven't yet done something like this. And then I can similarly do something, uh-oh. Ooh, oh, okay. There's just a little bit of lag here. Sorry about that. No errors, just lag. Whoop. Interesting. For the higher trees, it's become a little laggier because of my algorithm, so I might need to consider tightening up my algorithm a little bit. Anyhow, I think for now, I'll just call that fine. Oh man, this is awfully slow. It should be faster in the web version. Anyhow, I did it. However, the real challenge is the bonus challenge. But I think I want to tighten up my algorithm here because there's too much lag. So I'm going to pause. And then once I've made the algorithm a tad less wasteful, I will try this again. All right, the algorithm is a little bit better. I removed a sorting thing and added a little shortcut. If children here are less than children here, don't bother. No, wait, never mind. Yeah, anyways, a little shortcut. Alrighty, so, alright, bonus challenge. Lag is fairly minimal now. So the bonus challenge, if you're not already familiar with it, is we're gonna have two different things with fours. So I think what I'm gonna do, yeah, okay, so this already almost works. Ah, of course. Whoa. Interesting how far this gets. Okay, bonus challenge complete. Um, the reason I did this is because of the trivia question. I think before we do the trivia question, I'll show the trivia question right now. So the trivia question, no, never mind. I'll show it later. Let's go to fine. I'll show it right now. This is the question. I'll show the answer later. So you can pause here if you want to read this. I'll go over this in more detail later. Okay, Ultra Challenge is on. Now instead of 4, this needs to be 3. So I have no idea if I can solve this. I'm not even 100% sure it's possible, although I'm pretty sure it is. My brother, my younger brother, is the one who told me about this problem, and he thinks that he came up with a solution that obeys the new stricter rules. So I guess I should talk about what those rules are. Um, so let's get rid of this for a moment. The rule is no, hold on. This. Bad example. This. So if you focus on 4 and 7 here, you'll see that 7 does not directly contain 4. However, 7 does contain 4 if we view this as one extended branch. And in fact, we can even like put stuff here. Sorry, it's hard to show. But the point is 4 is contained within here if we remove the flower from that node right there. So that's what's going on. Yeah, for extra clarity, let's actually move down here. And let's suppose the pattern involves two things on the left there. So now we can see that 9 down here contains 5. Let's get rid of that. So 9 contains 5, and that is true even if there's an extra, oh, sorry. Oh, never mind. Let's demonstrate like this. No, like this. Here we go. Um, nope, still not a great demonstration. Sorry about that. Um, no. Ah, we need a third one here. There we have it. So, yeah, so this contains 6 here, and that is true even if we have an extra little branch poking out. All right, so that's what we're dealing with. And the purpose of that is to prevent some cheese. Big spoiler here, I'm going to be showing a cheesy strategy for the old version of the game. Like this. Not quite like that, but something a little bit like this. Actually, you know what? I showed that earlier, didn't I? But anyhow, I'm clarifying now. This strategy is overpowered. That's what I'm trying to get rid of here. Um, and as you can see, indeed, it is no longer allowed. It originally was when I first posted the game. Okay, let's actually start the challenge now. I'm gonna write down the timestamp, 11:26. Okay, let's begin trying to solve this. And I'll keep an eye out for bugs while I'm at it. I'm currently in the Unity editor here, so if any errors get thrown, it will alert me. Okay, so in fact, let's minimize for a moment here. Yes, it will pause the game if an error happens. All right, let's get started here. I'm just going to reset. Now, for the very start, I don't want to do this. That's going to just limit my trees enormously. Right, like I can do stuff for a little while, where I sort of branch outward. But I'm very, very quickly going to be limited if I cannot make things super tall. I'm fairly certain. I know that I've done some research. I know that if you're trying to get a high score on tree, if you're trying to calculate tree 3, tree 4, um, you definitely don't want to start like this. And I'm pretty sure we don't want to start like this either, especially because we have now nerfed this strategy. Um, Never mind. You know what? We wouldn't want to do that regardless. Don't think we'd want to do this. Pretty sure it has to be this. Now, for the 4, it's a little trickier. I think this is bad news, even though it's nice and symmetrical. This might be an option. However, what I've heard is that this is good, even though I've nerfed this strategy. So I'm going to go for that. Now, it used to be we could do that next, but this now contains 4 under the new algorithm. You can see no flower there. That's just one long branch as far as we're concerned. And so this is a duplicate of 4. So what do I want to do? Probably not 3 and 2. I think it might be, can I do this? I can do that. Let's try doing that. I'm kind of just copying what I remember from what my brother showed me of how to solve this. However, my guess is that the solution I've seen won't precisely work due to the new algorithm. So, putting a branch here is a problem because of 4. I'm pretty sure. Right? Like any sort of branching I do up here. Oh, well, that's a problem because of 5. But yeah, any sort of branching I do up here is a problem. But if I do this, I have a lot more flexibility. I think this looks pretty good to me. So number 4 here is saying I cannot branch off twice. Not even twice in a row. I can't branch off here and here, for example. Oh, oh, well, 5 is triggering these anyways, but I can't branch off twice, like this, for example. That triggers 4. So, isn't that really limiting? Have I goofed here? I might need to change 4. So I can branch at the very start, but then I straight up cannot branch again anywhere. Or I can branch later. Yeah, so I really do only get one branch here. And then I can't have 3 before I start branching, right? I cannot go I cannot go 1, 2, 3, branch. So I have to branch at 2 at the latest. And now I can't do that, but I can have one of them only be size 1, right? Because of this 6. So now I think I've maximized the value I can get from branching after 2 steps. So let's try branching after 1 step, right? Last time I went 2 steps, then branch. Let's go 1 step and then branch. So we'll branch here. We'll branch here. And then the sky's the limit here in terms of what size I can do. Let's start by making them really uneven. I don't know if I should start with them being even and then go uneven, like I did last time here. Yeah, I don't know. But because 8 is an even number, I have to do like 7 here. So I could either do 4 and 3, which is kind of icky and uneven. So I think I'm going to do this. So we have, sorry, 6 and 1 here. Okay. So now I can do 5 and 3. Uh-oh. No, this looks bad. I think I have to make them even. Right? So if I do this, branch here, I need 9 more branches. So like 5 and 4, no. 6 and 3, no. Yeah, this is always going to be a problem. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Undoing a little bit. Yeah, it just doesn't work. So let's start by making these more even. Then make, here we go. 6 and 2. Okay, so we've got 4 and 3, 6 and 2. Now we have to do something and 1. 8 and 1, I guess. Okay. I don't know if this is making any sense. I hope it is. So if we go 1 and then branch, we're screwed. I think. Yeah. Can't do 1, you can't do 2, because the other branch will always have to be longer than a previous branch, right? 2 won't work, 1 won't work, 3 won't work. And if I do 4 or more on both sides, that's not going to work. I'm thinking about what should the smallest branch be, right, out of the 2 branches. So we have to go down to branching immediately. But we still have room left. Yeah. So, For 11 here, we can do like 6 and 5. There we go. And then for this, we could do something like 3 and 9. Oh, oh, I like that. Let's go through here. That sounds fun. Oh no, I can't. Oh, whoa. And there we go. All right, sorry, this is covering up tree 11 a little bit. Um, anyhow, um, it looks like, well, I've confirmed now the game is possible, and it looks like it's pretty much bug-free, or at the very least, I didn't run into any bugs, although I think that's because I knew to avoid that sort of thing. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more testing before I actually push this update live, but so far it looks good to me. It's certainly playable, beatable, um, and I doubt there's going to be any game crashing errors. It's possible there will be some weird little visual bug or something uh, when you're running into these sort of extended inf-embedding. I don't know how to describe it. Sorry about that. Um, I'm thinking about programming more than communicating. Um, all right, anyhow. Yeah, so the final thing in the game is this trivia question that we saw before. If this game had an endless mode and trees were allowed to be smaller than their given number, meaning, this 5 doesn't have to be a 5. I could do another tree of size 4 if I wished, right? Um, if trees were allowed to be smaller, how many trees could be made? Now, you might be wondering about the trees being smaller, right? In general, it's bad to make the trees smaller. If I make this size 4, it's always going to create something that messes me up, right? It's very easy to contain something of size 4, right? If I shrink this down to 4, if I take 5, sorry, if I take something size 5 and I just delete one branch to make it size 4, this is like strictly worse, right? It just increases the chance that the tree is contained within something. However, it's not entirely useless to make smaller trees. And the reason is sometimes you want to make a certain type of tree. I don't know, I want to make something with 2 branches, for example, right? Um, maybe for 4, um, I did this, and then for 5, I want a similar thing where we just have branching at the beginning. But if I try to do a similar thing, I can't, right? I can't fit 5 branches if I'm just branching once at the very start here. Um, so I might want to make this be size 4 because that allows me to have 2 very similar sorts of trees here that might be easier to avoid in the future because of the similarities, right? If I'm avoiding making tree 4 here, I'm also probably avoiding making tree 5 here. Or perhaps not. You know, that might not actually be true in practice because I don't think it's possible to get very far if these are your opening trees. But anyways, that's the idea, right? Sometimes you can't make the 5 you want for tree 5, so you settle for a 4 instead. And in fact, the optimal solution, the farthest any mathematician has got in endless mode of this game, involves using smaller trees several times. So anyways, I will go ahead and reveal. Pause here if you're curious, right? If we're allowing small trees like this, smaller trees. Oh, sorry, one more thing I should say about smaller trees. Sorry for saying to pause here. Hopefully nobody paused there. One last thing about smaller trees is it makes the end a lot easier. I could trivially go from my 12 solution. Uh, oh, I could easily go from this 12 solution to a 21 solution just by taking this 12 tree and making smaller copies. In fact, I think you can make like 20 different trees that are just 12 but smaller. Um, and it's actually okay for an earlier tree to contain, sorry, yeah, it's okay for an earlier tree to contain a later tree, right? So for example, I'd be allowed to do this, right? I can make tree 12 be tree 11 only smaller. So if you're thinking that endless mode could only get you to like 20, no, you can easily add like 20 or 30, maybe even like 40 more trees just by making small trees that are smaller versions of some of these trees, right? If you're clever about it, I think you could make smaller versions of like 4 or 5 different trees here, maybe like a dozen copies of some of them. So you could probably squeeze out like 30 more, right? So you could very easily get to around 40, simply because of this lesser number thing. So how many trees could be made? The answer is da, 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 844, not thousand, not million, not billion, but 800 trillion trees. Again, a lot of those are just smaller copies of previous trees, but we're talking trees of, I believe, size 200 or so. You can actually see the solution online. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description. So the proof for this number, it's not a fancy pants proof. It's just a description of how to play the game. Well, how to construct trees in this way. Uh, uh, the uh, the notation is a little bit confusing, I think. It can be a little difficult to read what the trees are, but the first dozen or so trees are just written out. And then there's sort of a pattern, a somewhat complicated pattern for how to continue. And to be clear, the answer is not infinity. It's been proven by Kruskal's tree theorem, that there is a finite number of trees um, when that there's shoot, sorry, I should have scripted this out a little bit. Obviously, there's an infinite number of trees in existence, right? You can make arbitrary trees. There's a finite number uh, of trees that don't contain each other in this way, right? So if I'm not mistaken, even if you start at like 8, right? What we have here is called tree 3, lowercase tree 3, like this. Um, right, starting from here, tree 3 can go to 800 trillion. If we start at 4, we could get vastly farther, but it would still be finite. The set of different unique trees you can make is known by this theorem to be finite. Um, Unless maybe some axiom, if you don't accept some axiom, there's always Uh, I don't know. To the best of my knowledge, there's a pretty strong consensus that there is, in fact, a finite answer to all of these numbers: tree 3, tree 4, tree 5, etc. Right? Any number you put in there. Um, if you want, you can also look into capital tree. If you just Google tree 3, you're not going to get this problem that we did here, which is lowercase tree 3, the weak tree function. You'll probably find we could call it the strong tree function, or just the tree function. Numberphile did a video about it, which is quite nice. Um, Although I think I heard that some of the facts they gave there were a little bit speculative. So don't know if you can 100% believe everything in that video, but it's a very nice overview um, to this variation on, well, actually, I believe the weak tree function is the variation on strong tree. I forget which came first. Sorry for not doing research. I might do a higher effort video talking about this game later, but in keeping with the other Thinky Puzzle calendar games, these are a bit low effort, bit rambly. Um, yeah. Hope that was somewhat interesting. I will now close that annoying little pop-up window. I can always bring it back. You can click over here to bring these back. Um, but yeah, here is my solution. I think I'll take a screenshot as well as uploading this. Um, oh, sorry, this isn't my solution. Apologies. Um, let's, oh, let's fix that. There we have it. All right. There is my solution to the puzzle. Ultra challenge on. And yes, hope this was interesting. The Once again, this updated version of the game should be up. Hope you enjoy. Bye bye.